Hello my beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm very excited to do because we're going to be talking about the newly launched NOMAD Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. The theme is based out of Florida and I am very excited about this palette because I do live in Florida and relate to the vibe of this palette so much. In this video I'm going to share 3 look tutorials with you, and the eye makeup look that you're seeing on my eyes right now is one of the look tutorials that you're gonna see. And also I am going to show you, of course, swatches of the palette. We're gonna do a brief overview of the palette itself, and I'm gonna share my final thoughts at the end of this video. As always, I include the timestamps for this video for you to navigate through for your convenience. Before we get started, I would love to welcome new visitors and viewers to my channel. Hello, my name is Eve. I love all things beauty. Here on my channel, I share about beauty and lifestyle. I upload new videos every week. If you enjoyed this video, give this a big thumb up, and I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you're not yet a subscriber. And now, without further ado, let's dive in. As I'm giving you a brief overview about this palette, I'm also going to be putting some information here on the screen for you. This palette was sent to me from NOMAD Cosmetics, and if you like to shop this palette, if it inspires you, if that speaks to your soul, and you're loving the color story, you can use my non-affiliated code to save 10% off. This is the newest launch from NOMAD Cosmetics that is actually getting launched on Tuesday, June 25th. This is a summer new launch from NOMAD Cosmetics. The palette is called Keys Beachy Peachy. This is a standard, larger size format for the palette from the brand. The palette and the outer box looks identical. The outer box, as per usual, have like fun information here. You can read the inspo and more details here. Here are your shades. The palette is cruelty-free and vegan. So this palette represents a collection of tropical hues from sun-washed yellows, peaches, and key limes to richly soaked purples, blues, and sunset corals. Has 11 fun in the sun mattes and 7 glistening on water shimmers, inspired by the always funny Florida Keys. NOMAD Cosmetics is a destination beauty brand, and they always have a cause associated with their launches, and this time they're supporting the Dolphin Research Center that saves and protects dolphins and other marine mammals in Florida Keys. The packaging itself is really nice and smooth cardboard, and you do get a mirror and 18 beautiful colorful shades. I'm going to start on this eye, and I think I want to do something that reminds me of a sunset because this palette was inspired by sunset, so I want to try to do a sunset inspired look. So I'm going to probably start with the coral scheme first. I'm going to go into this shade first and then this shade next. It has a little bit of like peachy tone in it, but as you can see, this is my lid set-in shade, so I do not get any color payoff out of this shade initially. And then I'm gonna go into this shade next, Shipwreck Trail. This shade blends beautifully and I really like the color payoff. Just exactly what I thought it was gonna be, just exactly what I needed for this look. I would say it definitely looks a little bit more pastel-ish on the eye, on my skin, than it looks here. It looks a little bit more neon, and on my eye it looks a little bit more pastel. I think this is a shade that could be built up, as you can see, but I also feel like it shears out pretty well, so no complaints here. So far, so good. So next, I'm gonna go into this beautiful shade. It's called Sunset Celebrations, and it has a flamingo imprint. How beautiful. So I'm gonna start building up this area. This brush from WhatsApp Beauty, this is a number R102. It has a really beautiful, like elongated shape, and it's very pointed. It's so perfect for like situation like this. You see, it just lets me create that perfect arch. I'm gonna go back to the previous shade, try to blend these 2 shades together because I feel like I lost that initial shade just a tiny bit. Everything builds and blends beautifully so far. And I love the color combination, so pretty. I've been always fascinated by flamingos. Every time I go to the zoo, fun fact about me, I love going to zoos. I've been to so many different zoos in my life. I always try to go and see flamingos if they have any. I can stay and stare at the flamingos for so long because I just find them fascinating. So the next color I'm gonna go is this purple shade. It's a matte shade called Key West. I'm gonna pick it up on a flat brush. As you guys can see, I do not have any fallout so far. The shades do have a little kickback on them when you pick them up, but once you tap off your brush and just work with the color, as you can see, there is no fallout. To finish the look with something yellow in my inner corner, I kind of want to do this shade and this shade layered. And then I'm going to go into Contour Republic, which is a beautiful yellow shimmer. It had a little bit of texture, so I went ahead and sprayed it. Okay guys, this is a finished look. So these are all the shades that we used for this look, including this very initial shade. You see that it practically blends into my skin. What do you think of this sunset inspired eye look? Let me know in the comments below. And now let's move on to look number 2. This is the first shade that I'm going to start with. It's called Close to Perfect. This has a beautiful white base and it goes on pretty opaque on skin. I really like this. Look how nicely it built up. Then I'm gonna go into this shade called Marathon. It's like that beautiful teal. And I'm gonna start applying it here. The same brush, I'm gonna go into this blue shade with a dolphin. It's called Sea Meets Sky. On my outer corner, I'm actually going to go with, again, with the purple. This shade seems to be the darkest in the palette, so I'm going to staple it here. So I'm kind of creating a little gradient what the ocean or the sea may look like. So I finished my lower lash line with the same shades and I blended out the outer corner a little bit. And now I want to go with this shade. It's called Key Lime Time. Like applied here. I really like how this matte look comes out and I could just leave it here. Maybe put a little bit of like yellow or silver in the inner corner and just call it a day. But I do want to test the shimmer formulas also. So I'm going to actually mix these 3 shades on my lid. So I think this is going to be my inner corner and I'm going to mix these 2 on my lid. Okay guys, this is the second finished look. So these are all the shades that I used. So these are the additional products that I used to finish off my look. My mascara is Tower 28. My eyeliner, I actually just put it right here on the outer corner on my upper lash line. LA Girl Ultimate eyeliner in the shade Never Ending Navy. Really beautiful formula and shade. And this is a really fun new liquid eyeliner from What's Up Beauty in the shade Nebu. So you can see both of the pencil and liquid eyeliner here. I just put the liquid eyeliner here on the inner part of my upper lash line. Generally, I find blues and purples a little bit more difficult to work with on my skin. I didn't really experience difficulty blending any of these colors. I think every single shade performed equally well, and it just took me a little bit of a time to just blend like the shape of the outer corner just to make it like really nice and fit the shape of my eye, what I envisioned for this look. And I thought it was considerably easy process. I really like how all the shades came together. It definitely gives me like an ocean vacation vibe. Let me know what you think of this look in the comment section below, and now we move on to the next look. This is going to be the final look number 3, and I already created it on this side. And these are all the shades that I used. On this side, I'm going to show you how I did it. I hope you enjoyed the makeup tutorials and makeup looks that I shared with you today. Let me know in the comments below which one was your favorite. Did you like anything at all? Do you think this palette is vibing with you? Do you think you're going to be picking this up? What are your thoughts? Share additional questions, comments in the comment section below. Let me share my first impression, final thoughts with you. With the 3 looks that I created, I think I pretty much touched majority of the shades. So I definitely want to try this pastel yellow and this beautiful bronzy gold shade with the turtle. I, for some reason, didn't get to try it, but I definitely would. Yellows and gold are definitely like my vibe for the season, so I will definitely continue testing this palette. Most probably I will share a look with you on Instagram. I also have been sharing with you my makeup of the days, like my MOTDs on Instagram. So if you do not follow me on Instagram yet, I invite you to follow me there. My links to my socials are always underneath this video. My first impression, final thoughts on the palette. This palette is definitely colorful. If you follow my channel for a little bit, you know that I am a huge neutrals lover. I do definitely feel comfortable with some colors, and I like to incorporate different colors into my neutral looks, but full colorful looks is not necessarily my comfort zone. This makeup look, the corals, I definitely enjoy. I love the peaches and corals, especially in summer. This is the type of look that I would totally wear outside. I would go to like movies or like dinner date or just to run my errands throughout the day. I would not care. This is the vibe, okay? This is the makeup look that I would totally wear outside. So as far as the color story and then cohesiveness of this, you can definitely come up with a lot of looks. I only shared 3 looks with you in today's video. However, I definitely have more color combinations and looks that I want to test with this palette, and I will be doing this on my own time. And again, I will most probably share them with you on my Instagram. I definitely see more potential in this palette than just the 3 looks that I shared with you today. I think this color story is definitely inspirational. I also really enjoyed that there is a range of depth, right? So we get like some pastel tones here. So the rest of the shades, they are more of like your mid-tone, but the darkest shade in this palette happens to be this purple shade, and it's actually really pretty. I didn't have difficulty like building that shade up. The only shade that I felt like I needed more building up to do and more packing, and I felt like it would blend away a little bit, is this red shade. It's actually very pretty, but I feel like I would need to go with my finger, like apply it with a brush first, give me like a little bit of like a skeleton where I want to put it, and then I would go with my finger and just really pack that color on my lid and it would stick. The shimmers here are so beautiful. They are the same formula that I know from like the previous palettes that I have from Nomad. They're really nice and soft and foily, so I do apply them with a flat brush and they go on the lid nicely. But if I want them to be a little bit more punchy, like more foily, I just go with my finger and apply them with my finger, or you can also spray your brush, and that also works really well. So these are my initial thoughts on the palette. I think it's a pretty fun palette. It's definitely very seasonal. It's definitely very Florida, very bright and colorful, definitely screams vacation and maybe carnival even. I do love that you get good amount of versatility out of this palette, and definitely a nice quality. I definitely will be testing this palette further, and here on my channel I do a monthly palette ranking. Whatever I try within a span of 1 month, I put them in a ranking, so you will definitely see this palette in my next eyeshadow palette ranking that is actually surprise coming out tomorrow on my channel. Is definitely not going to include this palette, but in the following month, in about 4 or 5 weeks, you will see this palette ranked next to other eyeshadow palettes. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're not yet a subscriber. I want to hear from you in the comment section below. Additional questions, comments, let me know what you think. Are you going to be picking up this palette or not? If you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see more content with Nomad Cosmetics palettes, I do have a separate playlist dedicated to Nomad eyeshadow palettes. We'll have them linked for you here at the end of the video in the cards. Thanks so much for watching, hanging out with me today, and I will get you in my next video. Bye.